Ways to improve the Cyberpunk 2077 experience. 3. What's up, chooms? Back again with another batch of ideas to add to my series of vids, compiling a list of new concepts and ideas they could possibly implement into future Cyberpunk 2077 updates or the Cyberpunk sequel to reach the pinnacle of open-world RPG experiences. So, let's get to it. The small details can set certain open-world games apart from the rest. These nuances, often overlooked by gamers, include simple animations on command. When I say on command, I mean the ability to interact with objects by pressing a button after approaching them. While Cyberpunk allows interaction with various elements, it lacks the depth found in other open-world classics like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Fallout. Immersion in any open-world game can be significantly enhanced by these small touches. In Cyberpunk, walking up to a bar stool, chair, or bench would be more immersive if you could seamlessly sit down and take in the sights of Night City. One disappointment with metro stations is their lack of a free-flowing system. There are no smooth transitions when entering the train, creating a detached feeling. The glitch screen during transitions and restricted movement when sitting as a passenger contribute to this detachment. Adding random encounters during train rides, with more dialogue options or opportunities for quest lines, could make the experience more engaging. Fighting off thugs attempting to rob the train, for example, could be a thrilling random encounter. The limited access to the train is also a drawback. Full access, allowing movement throughout each compartment, or even venturing outside on the roof while the train is in motion, could add excitement reminiscent of action movies like James Bond or Mission Impossible. Furthermore, I think a more in-depth interaction system would greatly improve the game. Taking inspiration from Red Dead Redemption 2, providing options like greeting and antagonizing. A deeper interaction system, similar to Red Dead Redemption 2, could greatly enhance Cyberpunk. Imagine having the option to greet, antagonize, flirt, or trade with NPCs, triggering different and random reactions each time. I believe expanding on this concept in Cyberpunk would enhance the overall player experience. For these series of vids, I draw inspiration from suggestions in my YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok comment sections. If you're on any of these platforms, consider following me to stay updated on new videos and be part of the ongoing discussions. And I quote, "Gangs deserve way more work. The constant ebb and flow of gang territory from one gang to another isn't really modeled well in the game, and gangers only really move out of their designated areas for story missions or scripted events, when they should be actual factions with trackable stats interacting with one another, as well as you, the player. Groups should skirmish with each other, seize territory, lose territory, and struggle for power inside the concrete jungle, just like they do in real life. Also, you should be able to join one and try to conquer the entirety of Night City with your chooms. Even if it's just radiant quests instructing you to go here and kill these guys to clear out this business so we can take it over. That's still more gigs that should be available to the player and more options to pick, which is just a good thing." End quote. Very great suggestion and critique there. Couldn't agree more. User Ethereal Dreamer Art wrote, and I quote, "I would love to join gangs and have the karma system more fleshed out so when you flatline one of theirs, they'll be more aggressive with coming after you extremely hard, as well as make more of the buildings accessible and the mega buildings, and put lots of activities to do in the city, as well as flesh out the life paths, and even have new ending paths if you follow your life path all the way through. Also at least more romances like 12, 6 male, 6 female." End quote. User AATHADOS 6629 replied to the comment with, and I quote, "This is what I thought the game would be initially. The gang system with different districts having different gangs could provide a huge amount of dynamic player interaction with the world reacting to your actions. Like, imagine if you rampaged through Santo Domingo, flatlining 6th Street gang goons and blowing up their operations from gig to gig. And then whenever you're walking down the street in that area, 6th Street gangers will treat you as zero on sight unless you make peace with them by doing jobs for them, paying them off, wiping out the gang for once and for all. potentially turning the district into a bloodbath as other gangs try to muscle in. End quote. With that, ethereal dreamer art responded, and I quote, "Unfortunately, they had to spend 3 years patching the game due to management forcing the devs to release it in that state. The game is good, and wish they could have did this for Cyberpunk. However, I believe they learned their lesson. They will most likely take all this feedback for the sequel. The sequel enters production in late 2024. End quote. Yeah, I'm sure all the patching and refining the game demanded from its state at launch really exhausted a lot of time and resources for CDPR. So it's still impressive they were able to deliver to us a high-quality product like the 2.02 patch update." Commenter Ethereal Dreamer Art said in another comment, and I quote, "I would love to join gangs and have the karma system more fleshed out so when you flatline one of theirs, they'll be more aggressive with coming after you extremely hard, as well as make more of the buildings accessible and the mega buildings and put lots of activities to do in the city, as well as flesh out the life paths and even have new ending paths if you follow your life path all the way through. Also at least more romances like 12, 6 male, 6 female." End quote. All right, need a little break. Can I get some assistance over here?
Sure thing, buckaroo. All right, let's see here. User Mad Doctor 32746 wrote, and I quote, "Night City is a character let me know her better, more vertically, and secrets in the skyscrapers. Imagine not just adding zip lines, but more traversal options with wall running and a grappling hook. This would also allow for interesting Sandivistan moments and tricks. Or maybe imagine a Spider-Man-style netrunner. This would also allow for more environmental travel outside of the city, maybe the mountains, or even a secret sector underground. Maybe in the desert or the trash mountains outside the city. Who knows what's hiding in there?" End quote. User 666_snas_666 commented, and I quote, "A gang of people that use hijacked AVs and have modded them for speed or combat. Now that I think about it, they could be how the protagonist of the game could get an AV or in the story." End quote. That actually would have been a neat possible idea to acquire an AV early on in the game. I like it. User Kyle is a problem wrote. "Love these romance ideas though. Very good stuff. More interaction with Judy, please. Give enemies the double jump and dash. Put them on a closer level to V." End quote. Closer to my level? Don't know if I'd like that, but good stuff. User Dan wrote, "I love Cyberpunk. And so do I, Choom. Hey, you back yet?"
Yeah, I'm good.
Preem.
Angry Shortbread commented, and I quote, "They should have a Game Plus mode for after you finish, you can restart, but you have all perks unlocked and all skills maxed." End quote. New Game Plus is one of the most requested features from fans. I wouldn't be surprised if it's included the next game or update. And lastly, oh, and by the way, the comment had errors, so not sure exactly quite what the user meant, but I'll just read it as it's written, so bear the grammatical errors. The last of the Uchiha clan wrote, and I quote, "I would love to see more backstories, as well as like, all I know is David and Johnny from the afterlife. Let's meet the other drinks, or find what's left of them, and get a unique weapon. Or cyberware would be cool, like a titled piece of gear with their name would be cool. Kinda like David's Sandy, or Johnny's arm, or Backhand Morgan's hand, or revolver." End quote. Kind of an awkward read there, but I understood a bit. Think you meant like getting legendary items associated with Night City legends like David and Johnny with special abilities attached. Interesting suggestions, Chooms. To join the conversation, feel free to give me a follow on Insta, YouTube, or TikTok and comment your ideas and suggestions. Till next time, Canonical V.